Good morning and welcome to Morning Gospel Fuel with Mr. G. It feels good not to have to go to classes today. Anyway, it's Saturday, November 6th, the 31st Saturday of Ordinary Time, and it is the feast day of St. Leonard of Noblac. And he was a late 400s, early 500s. He converted to Christianity on Christmas in the later 400s. Then he became an abbot and a hermit until he died in the mid 500s, I think it was. Anyway, he is the patron saint of political prisoners, imprisoned people in general, and POWs and stuff like that. So that is Saint Leonard of Noblac. Today's gospel is from Luke chapter 16, verses 9 through 15. Let's begin in the name of the Father, Son, and Spirit. Amen. I tell you, make friends for yourselves with dishonest wealth, so that when it fails, you will be welcomed into eternal dwellings. The person who is trustworthy in very small matters is also trustworthy in great ones, and the person who is dishonest in very small matters is also dishonest in great ones. If therefore you are not trustworthy with dishonest wealth, who will trust you with true wealth? If you are not trustworthy with what belongs to another, who will give you what is yours? No servant can serve two masters. He will either hate one and love the other, or be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and Mammon. The Pharisees, who loved money, heard all these things and sneered at him. And he said to them, "You justify yourselves in the sight of others, but God knows your hearts. For what is of human esteem is an abomination in the sight of God." That Jesus, what a radical. He's a radicalist. Says things contrary to what people want to hear. He challenges people to do things they don't want to do, and he makes people uncomfortable. But why? It's because he loves them and cares for their soul so much, and he understands our human nature. He knows whenever something is dangled in front of us, especially from Satan, whether it be money, money and wealth, lust, food, anything, appealing to the senses, and that benefits us in a material sense. Jesus knows that we're going to oftentimes bite for it, and that's just part of the fall, part of our human nature, and that's where our faith is challenged, and we need to make sure that we are doing what we need to do to make sure we are constantly being formed to Christ. And of course, he doesn't say money's terrible. Like, money's not terrible, but he does say it can change your heart. And that's why Jesus says to the Pharisees who love money, heard all of them, and they joked at him and sneered at him. Jesus said, "You justify yourselves in the sight of others, but God knows your hearts." And that's what I think we all need to. That's why we should constantly be reflective. As Christians, we must be reflective. Hopefully before we speak, but then even after we speak as well. And make sure that we are discerning and pursuing virtue and goodness. Because if our hearts are fixated towards advancement in the material world so that we're comfortable and doing whatever we want to do and justifying things on our own whenever it might not so much be justified by God, we're deceiving ourselves to think that we can kind of create things on our own and kind of be in control of everything. And that's why he's talking about, it's good to reflect upon, starting with the little things. I think that's going to be our challenge today. It's like, are we honest with ourselves? But then are we honest in every little thing? Are we honest in small matters? Because if we're not honest in small matters, we can't be honest in big matters. And so that's where we need to constantly be doing an examination of conscience and trying to pursue the highest good of the transcendentals of truth, beauty, and goodness, which is only found in God. And so, just do a little reflection on that, because it says the person who is trustworthy in small matters is also trustworthy in great ones. But then also the one who is dishonest in small matters is also dishonest in great ones. So do an honest assessment of yourself and see what needs to be taken to prayer and what needs to be reflected upon, and make a concerted effort to be more self-aware, to show and practice different means and actions so that we can grow, both you and I, into a better relationship with God, to deepen our friendship. So there it is. Have a great day. God bless, and keep it real. In the name of the Father, Son, and Spirit. Amen.